Okay, so I accidentally hit the end button on Captivate. That's what my problem has been. So now that we got that figured out, let's continue here. I had just made this color, and let me double check this. Okay, yeah, just made this color. And so now let's take a look at it if we didn't already. If we go here, drag this over, you'll see now my color is there. So I think I was about to type in some text. You're right. That's what I was doing. Okay. Um, and then I'm going to actually, we can bring that closed paragraph up if we want. And we can also do that. And then I'm going to make another paragraph here that says, and some more about me. Close that paragraph tag. Okay. While I'm here, let's make the link to a second page, which we are going to make in just a little bit. So to link in HTML, it's an anchor. So the A is for anchor, href, hypertext reference, equals, and even though I haven't made the page yet, I'm going to make a page called page2.html. Don't do that. HTML. Okay. And then, so that's the anchor, but we need something to anchor to. So that's what we're going to anchor to. And then we close the anchor. Now, does this, whoops, does this make sense? So we have anchor href page 2. So this is what the web was invented for to begin with, this hypertext, to be able to link to another web page. Check out my second page. And what happens is when someone clicks on this on the web page, it's going to try and open this page2.html. Let me save that. Okay. And then let's let me shrink that down, and let me take this, our new version. Let me move this a little smaller. And I'm going to drag this over up to the Edinburgh server here, and it's going to ask if I want to replace it. Remember, if you get this thing, just click above it and hit yes, and that's it. Let me drag my web page over and refresh it. So there's the new version for the whole world to see. And now, if I hit this, you can see it just chugs. That page doesn't exist yet, which is fine. Let's make that now. So I'm going to go into Notepad, do File, make sure this is saved, do File. Actually, I'm going to copy this. I'm going to cheat. I'm going to copy all of this. File, New, and I'm going to paste. Except now, on my second page, I'm going to change my title, and hopefully I remember where to show you where that title shows up. And I'm going to change my text here. Welcome to my second page about Cambridge Springs. Well, actually, it's not really a second page about Cambridge, is it? Yeah, I don't know why I capitalized those. Okay, welcome to my page about Cambridge Springs. And then I'm going to here, I'm going to take this out. Okay. And down here for the link, one of the things I ask you to do is to be able to link back and forth. So instead of linking, so we're on page 2. It would make no sense to link to page 2, but to link back to your home page, type in index, and then the anchor is going to anchor to the words home page. If that, or if you want to, you could type, if it makes more sense to you, type back to my home page. So this is very important. To file, save as. Don't forget this, all files, and I'm going to call it page, lowercase, page2.html. Okay? Page2.html, no spaces. Goodness gracious. That right, see there's a space between the E and the 2 there? That's very important that you have no spaces in your file names. It's going to goof up the link if you do. It's a very, very common thing that students do. And it drives them bananas because they're not sure why it's not working. Notice how there's no spaces here and no spaces here. So then I hit, and I'm in the directory on my hard drive, hit save. Right? I'm going to move this out of the way. And notice now in my C drive, I have a page 2. But over in my web server, that's just the first one. So I'm going to go over my hard drive and drag this over. And you can see now there's a page 1 and a page 2. Let's take a look at the web page. So nothing changed here. But now, when I go to my page 2, that shows up. And I should be able to go back to my home page. Very simple, isn't it? Let's go to the internet and grab an image about Cambridge Springs. So to do that, I'm going to go to images, google.com, type in Cambridge Springs, PA, and all these images come up. Drake's Mills. Let's grab this one, the Riverside here. View image. Okay, so I can right click and save picture as. This is well, shoot, I got to move my thing up here a little bit. I'm going to right click, save picture as, and this is very important. So I'm going to, this is kind of a long name here. Well, I guess I'll just leave it. I'm going to take that comma out. Riverside in Cambridge Springs, PA. .jpg. Okay. We have to have the image up on the server. It's not on the server at the moment. I'm going to slide this out of the way. I'm going to go here. I'm going to go into Notepad. Open up my page 2. By the way, if you didn't have it already open, you could right click and open with and choose Notepad if you wanted to, but I already have it open here. So to do an image, the HTML for an image is img src. That's image source equals quote, and then you put the name of the image. Now I'm going to go into my directory, and here it is right here, right? I'm going to do a slow double click and copy that because I'm way too lazy to retype that. I'm going to paste that. You could just type it. Paste that in there. Close that. And I'm going to put this in a paragraph so that it spaces out nicely. I'm going to do another thing too in just a minute. So this is the open paragraph tag and the close. And it's not the close, basically just the same tag with that /. Same thing here, like I'm closing the body, I'm closing the HTML document. So let's save this. Go back to the browser. Go back to my web page, right? And this doesn't show up. Oh, I didn't FTP it over, did I? I got to do that, or else it's not going to show up. So come down here. This is the web storage. This is my local directory, so I need to recopy page 2 over, and I need to replace it. And then I need to copy this image over, and notice how that's sitting there. And now let's take a look at it on the browser. I'll refresh my second page, and there it is. It's huge. That image is huge. What can we do about that? Well, in our page 2 here on the image, what we can do is right before we close the tag, I can make the width something. I'm going to make it like 300 pixels. Okay, and I'm not going to mess with the height because I'm going to let the browser automatically adjust the height. But I'll specify the width. So let me see if that's right. I haven't done that in a while. So we save it here, but what do we have to do? Remember, we have to copy the new version of the second page up to the server. Hit yes to replace. Now let's check it out. Hit the reload button. And there it is. It made it much smaller if you wanted to make it bigger. Okay. So that's essentially the stuff you need to do. I'm hoping you could go ahead and expand on that. A website I use quite a bit is the W3C tutorials. But what if you wanted to change, like, how to change font in HTML? Okay. This W3 Schools site is a really good site I use, and it gives you how to do the size, the colors, if you wanted to change the type of font it is and the font color and things like that. Basically, just keep this open. You can go into your web page and make these changes. But everything I've done here is the basics. The hard part is realizing that you need to work on your C drive and then copy it up via FTP here. And then, make sure you go back and forth, checking your web page to make sure it works. And then what you're going to want to do for me to turn it in is copy this URL and create an email and email it to me at dtucker.edinboro.edu. I have that on the web page. You don't need to write that down or anything. And that's it.